Hey guys, it's Ruth with bodybyruth.com, and today I'm going to help you ditch those sugar cravings for good. Now, I hear this question a lot, and it's always, how can I get rid of my addiction to sugar or the sugar cravings? And most of you that are addicted to sugar are just consuming it all the time, and the more you eat it, the more you want it. For many of you, your cravings might be just a lack of nutrition or specific nutrients and vitamins and minerals in your body. And I'm going to teach you some things that you could be eating to give your body the boost that it needs so that you are not deficient, and also some specific tips that you can do, some mental strategies that are going to help you as you are working on ditching those cravings. So I'm going to share with you 20 things, and I'm going to start with number 1. And that is, be prepared with healthy snacks. Most people that are grabbing a candy bar or grabbing the gummy bears are not prepared. They don't have something healthy. Something as good as an apple with some natural nut butter, or I love to make protein balls at the beginning of the week. Protein balls usually have a little bit of honey or some sort of sweet in them, so I'm getting some either pure maple syrup or some honey. And that is going to satisfy my sweet craving, but it's not processed sugar. So I'm gonna usually get some protein and some healthy fat with there, which gives me sustenance. And I love also just to pack maybe some hummus and some vegetables. Those are going to satisfy my need for food. And because it's got fat in it, it's gonna keep me satiated. All right, number 2. When you're craving sugar, you're usually craving sweet. And so ask yourself, could I eat an apple right now? If you can eat an apple, then go for it. And like I said in number 1, just add a little bit of nut butter to it or some healthy fat, and that's gonna keep you satiated. It's gonna help it digest slowly so it stays in your system longer. All right, number 3, move your body. When you move your body, especially when you exercise, you're way less likely to think about eating food. And for many people, moving your body is going to act as an appetite suppressant. So if you're sitting still, if you're at your desk, or if you are just sitting on the couch at night, if you get up and go into another room, maybe do a small chore, it might be unload the dishwasher or throw a load of laundry in, something that's going to distract your brain and move your body at the same time, usually will just kind of distract the fact that you are feeling like you want something to eat, and then you could reassess and see if you really are hungry. All right, number 4, drink water. Water is crucial in helping you get rid of toxins in your body. And if you have already been consuming a lot of sugar, we want to detoxify. Now, to my water, I like to add either some lemon or some apple cider vinegar, and I'm going to touch on that in a little bit, but both of those are going to help with the detoxification process. And because they're tart and sour, they're also going to reduce your cravings as well. All right, number 5, set a timer for 20 minutes and go do something fun. This is the whole thing about distracting yourself and trying to talk yourself out of the fact that you're hungry. Maybe you might go call a friend on the phone, or you're gonna walk at the same time, or maybe you run into a store and you go to a cute boutique. And you know, if you go into a store that has cute clothes, that's always a good incentive because you're gonna want to look cute in those clothes, and eating sugar is just probably going to give you some muffin top or some belly bloat. Okay, number 6, opt for a healthy swap. Many of you guys are used to just getting in a routine of doing the same thing all the time. Maybe it's 3 o'clock and that's your signal to go to the vending machine and get yourself a Hershey's bar. Or it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock and you're watching your TV show, and it's just what you do. You grab the ice cream and you fill it in your bowl and you eat a large portion of ice cream while you're sitting on the couch. Or maybe it's not ice cream, maybe it's a big bowl of sugary cereal. Instead, why not get a frozen banana and dip it in some dark chocolate and maybe some nuts, and you've got a really good frozen treat that's healthy for you. The dark chocolate, get about 65% pure cacao, and that's going to be full of antioxidants. So a healthy swap is always a great plan. I also like to make things like chia pudding, and chia pudding absorbs the liquid that it's in, and so it's super creamy. I love to make some with raw cacao in it and top it with some berries, and that's a really great healthy treat that is going to satisfy my sweet tooth and give me some great fiber at the same time. All right, number 7, choose whole foods. So when I say whole foods, that's basically single ingredient foods that God created. So whole foods, fruits, vegetables, things that grow from the ground, things that are pure like eggs, or it could be grass-fed beef or fish, almond milk, things that are not processed. So if you're putting single food ingredients on your plate, those are whole foods. All right, number 8, eat a breakfast full of protein, fat, and phytonutrients. So I love to have a bowl of quinoa, and I like to add some berries to it, some nuts. I'm getting some great antioxidants in the berries. I've got just a little bit of sweet in there that's satisfying my sweet tooth, but I'm filling up on good for you quinoa, which is going to be loaded with protein and fiber, and it's a good for me carb. And I also am going to put some nuts in there, and I love walnuts. I love toasted walnuts. Toasted walnuts are great fat that again are going to keep me satiated. I also love to do eggs, and then I'll saute some veggies with those eggs and maybe put a half an avocado in there. So I am going to be staying full for hours because I've got good for you complex carbs in the veggies, I've got protein in my eggs, and I've got healthy fat in my avocado. So if you start your day with a good substantial breakfast that's going to take all those into consideration, then you're not going to have those mid-morning cravings either. Likewise, if you want to make a smoothie, I like to put things like almond milk or chia seeds or hemp seeds or even coconut oil with some greens and some berries. Always put just a little bit of berries and lots of greens. You can't even tell you're drinking them, and it's a great way to start your day. All right, number 9. How many of you guys use a lot of spices when you cook? If you're not, then you're missing out on a great way to add flavor without the calories. Now, if you're a sugar craver, if you crave sugar, then you want to pay particular attention to things like cinnamon, to nutmeg, to cloves, to cardamom. Those naturally sweeten your food and they decrease your need for sugar. So I love a little mix that I put together in my coffee, and it's cinnamon and nutmeg and raw cacao, some turmeric, some collagen protein, and some coconut oil. And it absolutely makes a beautiful aromatic flavor that I need no sweet at all. And it's frothy because I put the coconut oil and the spices in the blender with my coffee, so it makes it like a latte and you are just sipping heaven. It's absolutely amazing. So look to add cinnamon and things like that in your foods to decrease your appetite and to get rid of those sugar cravings. Now, if you are one that loves flavored creamers, instead of putting the flavored creamer in there, which those are so bad for you, you want to like run away from flavored creamers, why not try some vanilla extract or some almond extract in your coffee? It's going to flavor it naturally and it gives it an automatic sweet flavor without the sugar. And then I always again recommend that coconut oil instead of a creamer, and then just froth it in the blender and it tastes so, so good. All right, number 10, do a detox. Now, detoxes, I believe, are necessary, and I like them about every 12 weeks because even if you're eating healthy, you might be purchasing fruits and vegetables that aren't organic and they are loaded with pesticides. Coffee is a huge crop that is way loaded with pesticides, grapes, apples. So if you can buy organic, do it. If you can't, then a good detox is going to naturally just cleanse your body of the deficiencies. It's going to reset your palate because you're not going to be eating anything sweet. It's going to be fruits and vegetables with some fats usually in that, and healthy fat like coconut oil. Coconut oil is a natural carrier, so it's going to help your body absorb the nutrients of the ingredients that you're putting in those smoothies. All right, number 11, mindfulness. Be mindful. When you are craving something, whether it's sugar or a bad food, ask yourself if you're really hungry. Oftentimes we are responding to just a pattern. It's our normal routine. Maybe you're just so used to driving to Dunkin' Donuts every morning that that's what you think you need to do. So ask yourself if you really are hungry or if you really are craving that donut. Or you might be just sad or depressed or stressed. And so your response is to put something sweet or some kind of comfort food in your mouth that's going to make you feel better. Instead, think about what you can do to de-stress that's going to be healthy for you. Get your workout in. Go for a walk with a friend that is supportive. Talk to someone on the phone that is going to lift you up. So ask yourself, am I really hungry? And then come up with something that works for you that will distract you from whether you really need that sweet or if it's just a pattern of behavior, if you're sad or stressed or whatever. Okay, number 12, keep it out of reach. Okay, so you know the saying, if it's not there, you aren't gonna eat it. Don't buy it. If I don't have sweet in the house, I'm not gonna eat sweet. If there's not junk in the refrigerator or ice cream in the freezer, I'm not going to eat it. So that being said, make sure when you go to the grocery store that you're not starving. You wanna make sure that you've had lunch, if possible, so that you're reaching for healthy things, those cravings won't kick in, and you'll be buying healthy food for you. Now, you also want to be sure that when you go to the grocery store that you're focusing on the foods that are around the circumference of the store. All the fresh things, all the refrigerated things, all the good for you things, all the single ingredient things are on the outside of the store. So anything processed, you're gonna see in your cereals, in your crackers, in chips, and anything that is in the middle, it's just no bueno. Just avoid the middle and stay on the outside. All right, and number 13, don't even think about swapping sugar for an artificial sweetener. Artificial sweeteners are actually even worse than sugar because they're about 600 times sweeter. And what it does is it just makes you want to crave more sweet. So if you're drinking a diet soda and you're thinking that you're doing yourself a favor, it's just gonna make you want more diet soda. And it's also proven that artificial sweeteners make you retain and hold on to fat. So ditch the artificial sweetener, go for things like honey. And if you can get local honey that's organic, that's awesome. Pure maple syrup, some coconut sugar, or some stevia. So those are the things that I would recommend if you needed to have a little sweet in whatever you're cooking or making. And then added sugars, no bueno. Artificial sweeteners, absolutely no bueno. All right. Now, let's look at some things that you can be eating that are going to help your body reduce cravings naturally, because for a lot of people, it's basically lack of nutrition. It's poor nutrition and it's vitamin mineral deficiency. So the first thing is L Glutamine. L Glutamine is an amino acid. You could take 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams every couple of hours at the beginning just to help your body get rid of those cravings. And it's also really great because it helps your digestive tract. Number 15, eat foods high in magnesium. And those are things like dark leafy greens, raw cacao, nuts and seeds, brown rice, quinoa, avocado. So eating those foods will automatically help you lose those cravings. If you're deficient, then you haven't been eating as many of those foods, and all you have to do is just put those into your diet. Another tip, number 16, eat foods high in chromium. Chromium foods are broccoli, sweet potatoes, apples, whole grains, pastured eggs. And what chromium does is it regulates your blood sugar. So that's the key to not having cravings. If your blood sugar stays stable, and that's gonna come from usually your protein and your healthy fat, when you don't have these big dips in your blood sugar, you're not gonna produce more insulin, and then you're not gonna be having all these side effects like diabetes and things like that. So chromium foods high in chromium are going to help you regulate your blood sugar. All right, number 17, you want to eat foods high in zinc. And those are things like pumpkin seeds, whole grains, Brazil nuts, pastured eggs, and oysters. And that is needed for insulin and glucose utilization. So you want things high in zinc so that you are able to utilize the insulin and glucose. All right, a deficiency in zinc can lead to cravings. So you want to make sure that you're eating enough foods high in zinc. So I like to take pumpkin seeds and just snack on them, but like I'll put a little bit in my hand. I might roast them and throw them on a salad. I like to stick them on yogurt. Obviously eggs are amazing. I eat them every day. Brazil nuts, just a few because they are high in fat, so you don't need a lot, just a few. And those are all going to help you with your cravings naturally. All right, number 18. Coconut oil. Okay, I love my coconut oil. Now I buy a ginormous container of it at Costco, and it usually lasts me about 6 weeks, and I use it every single day. Like I told you earlier, I put it in my coffee, and it's gonna give my body that good for you fat, which is going to help you burn fat, but it also helps stabilize your blood sugar. And I will cook with it. I saute with it. It's really great if you are doing pancakes, and I do healthy pancakes. Obviously, I do a protein pancake and put a little coconut oil in the bottom of the pan to cook in lieu of butter or other oil. And it just gives your food like a natural sweetness, and it might like make the edges a little bit crispy, which tastes to die for. But use that. I use that in smoothies. I use it to cook. I use it to bake. If you are baking and a recipe calls for oil, I always use coconut oil and melt it, and it's absolutely amazing. It's so good for you. So it boosts your metabolism, it nourishes your brain, it reduces sugar cravings, and it's just really good for your 19. Skin. Eat fermented foods. Now, fermented foods are sour generally, and so sour foods are going to help reduce your cravings. Now, I love kefir. I make kefir every week, and kefir is a staple for my husband and I. We have a smoothie every day, and I'll put a lot of leafy greens like spinach in it, and a few frozen berries. I blend it up, and I make this amazing smoothie every day that is nourishing my gut, and it's just helping get rid of sugar cravings. So tart foods, sour foods, lemon, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, those are all things that are going to help your gut, but they're also going to help reduce your sugar cravings as well. And finally, number 20, make sure you're eating plenty of healthy fats. Now, one of the biggest side effects of consuming sugar is pain and inflammation, or pain as a result of inflammation. So just by eliminating sugar, you're going to notice that inflammation is going to improve. One of the best fats that you can consume are omega-3s, so fish oil. If you don't have salmon that you eat on a regular basis, I highly recommend taking a fish oil capsule, but also eat things like avocado and nuts and seeds and olive oil, because those are going to, once again, keep your blood sugar stable. And when you have those healthy fats, it eliminates your cravings, and you're not going to want the need for sweet. So there you go. 20 tips that are going to help you reduce your cravings for sugar and kick the sugar habit for good. If you loved this video, please give it a like and share, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my tips that are going to help you live your very best life. Have a great one, guys.